All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. This is a pop-up podcast. Let's chop it up. Come on in the room. We are live streaming simultaneously right now to YouTube and Facebook. We're trying out our new studio production, StreamYard. We've gone over to StreamYard. We've been on Zoom for about 4 years now. So we are currently trying out StreamYard. So if anybody knows any little tips that you can give us on StreamYard, welcome any tips from you all. Welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. Once again, streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So we've been saying for a long time that we're going to bring it to you, and we are doing exactly what we said we were going to do. So welcome. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you had a good day at work today. And if you're on your way home from work, it's still wet out there, please drive carefully, okay? Waiting for my brother to join me shortly, and we'll get started here. Bad Mama Madison. What's up there, Skinner? How you doing? Say hello to the family for me. Good Wednesday evening. Happy hump day. We're almost there to the weekend. We are almost there. If you could hear the music, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, we're trying something new right here today. We're trying our new StreamYard platform here. Hey, Skinner. So we want to make sure that you all can hear us, as we're going to be kicking it up a few notches here on the Adams Brothers Podcast. Got some news for you here, some election news that we're going to be sharing with you all from the primary election that was held yesterday in Broward County and throughout the state, for that matter. So, good evening. Good evening. ARD. Just give me a little minute, everyone. I'm trying to pull something up. Everything should be up there, right?
I don't see it. I don't see other information coming across our cash.
All right, well, let's go put the banner up here.
Cash app.
How about that? You can see it now, huh?
Go. Yes, all our information is down there. Please donate to the Adams Brothers Podcast. It's in the banner, the ticker down at the bottom. I hope everyone is having a good, safe day on this wet Wednesday evening.
So, there was an election held yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Here in Broward County, and there was some upsets. And I'm trying to pull it up right now while I'm talking. I'm not too good at multitasking. Hello, Judy Wilson. Welcome to the Pop-Up Podcast here this evening. Like someone, like and tag someone in this live stream, and so they can come on and join us here. Did everybody go out and vote yesterday, or did you hold your vote hostage? Hopefully you didn't hold your vote hostage. Some people were saying that they are not going to vote locally, that they were just, hey man, I'm just not gonna vote. And that's the worst thing you could do. It says just hold your vote hostage. Hello, Cindy Edwards. Thank you for joining us. You don't ever want to hold your vote hostage. People have been real hard on Kamala Harris, saying they're just not going to vote for a black person just because they're black. And I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But these local elections, these are the ones that hurt us the most right here. Not just me, but everybody of color.
Those local elections matter.
The judges, the state attorneys, the people that's leading the sheriff's office. These are the ones that hurt you the most. So it kind of bothers me when people say that they're not going to go out and vote. We had, people like Dr. Martin Luther King and many of our family members and ancestors before us. They were shot and killed and hanged for trying to vote. And then you have people that's free and can go out and make a difference in your county, state, in your country, and I'm not going to vote.
And they have that right not to vote if that's what they choose.
And they also have a right not to complain too.
Nope, not at all.
If you don't vote, don't damn complain. That's how we look at it, Don't come on somebody post and challenge them and this and that. It will come. Kamala didn't do this and do that. I still have a question out there for anyone that want to answer. What black agenda does Donald Trump have for black people?
Besides, as people falsely say, a stimulus check that he didn't.
Right.
He just waited and signed his name to it. He didn't give out no stimulus money. But if you talk to people, they swear that Donald Trump gave us the stimulus checks when he didn't.
I haven't gotten a stimulus check. I've been paying the government. They say I make too much money, so I haven't gotten a stimulus check. So, again, what black agenda does Donald Trump have for black people? They're hard on Kamala. What agenda does she? What does she do for black people? What does Donald Trump do for black people?
And that's fair. To me, that's a fair assessment of what have both candidates, what have they proposed for black people? I always ask that. I didn't just start right now. Anyone that follow my Facebook page know I have been asking that question for a long time now about all the politicians. What are they gonna do specifically for black people? And that's a very fair question to ask. I don't know why when you ask that question, some black people get upset. Oh, well, they can't do nothing for just black people. Well, they did it for the American Indians,
the Jewish people.
They did it
they did it
for the LGBT. So they have specifically.
Asians.
That's right. They have specifically.
So why can't you do something for black people, specifically for black people? That's the question I have.
And that's a fair question to candidates. Both candidates,
not just for Kamala, because everybody is, now. And let me rephrase that. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And some that's been on this podcast, I can't vote for Kamala, this and that and whatever. She locked up black people, which was her job to do. She, as a prosecutor, you break the law. You shouldn't have broke the law. First of all, if you don't break the law, then you don't have. Why are you before prosecutors? People that wants to put you in jail. So think about that. Why are you there? Obviously, you broke a law somewhere along the line, or you are accused until you have your day in court. The presumption of innocence, everybody is presumed to be innocent, until you have your day in court. But she locked up all these black people. Maybe she did. But again, I'm going to ask you, what agenda does Donald Trump have for black people? I'll wait. I'll tap my hand on the table. I'll wait. Okay. Anyways, the DNC is on tonight. I think this is third night.
Yes,
I haven't watched any of it yet. Maybe I'll tune in tonight.
Me either. My AT&T has been out and they're on strike. So my internet and all is down. So no, I haven't been able to watch anything. I need AT&T to pay those workers because they're not. My system has been down ever since Sunday.
I'm trying to figure out how I don't know why I can't. This is Broward Supervisor of Elections. Y'all need to simplify this.
Yes, indeed. That's I'm
on here trying to figure out what the election results are. They should be up on the front page.
Right. I mean, you are absolutely
go through and all
right.
these little drop boxes in here and just to get. And I've been trying to find it for like 3 minutes now, and I haven't found it yet.
I tried yesterday, and it was challenging trying, and I still didn't.
So, Mr. Joe Scott, please change that. Update the website so it's more user friendly.
Yeah, because it should show election results, primary election results. It should have its own link for that, and it doesn't. I don't see anything. I mean, I've been on here last night trying to find it, and it's not on here.
Yeah, I see, election results 2024, and I'm clicking on that and tap to see search results. And I don't see it. It's just
okay. It says unofficial results. Go back to the main page again.
The main page?
Yes.
Well,
to the mains on the supervisor of election.
This is page. The main page right here.
Go back to the website itself. That's what I would do. Right down there.
All right, right here.
No.
And I still don't see it. If you can see it, you can start reading off some of the results. I was trying to pull it up. I don't see it on my phone. But how's everybody doing today? While we're trying to pull up these results, we are streaming live on Facebook right now, and we are streaming live to YouTube simultaneously right now. So
if you want to call in, the number is at the bottom ticker. 754-227-1986. Like Daryl said, it definitely was some upsets last night.
So who it looks like in the representative in Congress district? Well,
they got the Republican and the Democrat.
They got the Republican and the Democrat. So Rick Scott cruised through to a victory, 85%, more than 85% of the vote. Joseph Joe Kaufman, he looks like he is the winner. Jesus Gabriel Navarro, Chris Eddy, Republican. Michelle Morrell. Who else here? We have Herb Vargas. And now we get down to the United States Senator, which Stanley Campbell was running, and he didn't do too well at all.
We had Stanley Campbell on our podcast.
Yeah, we had him on here. And
I thought he was going to be a strong candidate against Deborah Powell.
Marcel Powell. She had over 68% of the vote.
Yes.
So she did. She's going to go on to face Rick Scott in the general election. Yes, she was.
She was the favorite anyway.
She was favorite. Debbie Wasserman Schultz got over 83% of the vote. State Senator Barbara Sharif, she had 40%, over 46% of the vote.
Barbara Sharif, a ex-Broward County commissioner. Yes. She's going on in the race for the state house now.
And then you had Keith Abel, Shelton Pooler, Emily Rodriguez, and Mitch Rosenwald. They were all running for Florida State Representative District 98, which that used to be former Gwendolyn Clark Reed and Patricia Williams. They held that seat. So Mitch Rosenwald, I believe he'll
go on to face the Republican
challenger. And let me tell you something about, these black candidates here that was running for office here in Broward County. I can tell you, look, if you guys are going to run for office, when you put an email address on your campaign signs or you put a phone number on there, make sure that that's the correct email address, and make sure that is the correct phone number. That people are trying to reach out to you and make donations and interview you and everything, and they set something up and they don't even check the emails, which is just ridiculous, So these candidates, I reached out to Mr. Pooler on a few different occasions, Shelton Pooler, and he just absolutely refused to take the call. He just answered hello, and then I started to introduce myself, and he hung up. And I'll call you back. I never heard from him again.
I got that from a few candidates. I'm not gonna name them though.
Well, I'm calling him out. I'm calling him out, and if you're gonna run for office, answer your phone. If you don't answer your phone right now, how are you gonna people that's gonna vote for you? How do you these people? How are they gonna reach you when you're in office? You're an elected official.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's a telltale sign right there.
That's an early red flag right there. So, Mr. Pooler, I hopefully you'll take this little bit of constructive criticism and don't take it personal. But when people try and call you and help you try and get elected, and you don't call them back, and several other people that we know, we reached out to them to try to reach out to him, and he still didn't respond back. So this is the results right here. He got 2,011 votes out of the entire Broward County here. So out of for that district, everybody that was able to vote in that district, Mr. Abel did pretty good, and Emily Rodriguez came in second place, and Mr. Abel third, and then you had Shelton Pooler came in last. So I'm not just singling him out. I'm talking to all of these
it was a lot
black candidates, that they're running for office and they don't answer the emails, they don't answer the phones. One candidate, and I'm not going to call the person's name, we were trying to reach out to this person for over 2 months, maybe 3. And it was the email address that they were using on their political signs that they stick in your yard. That's the information that we were using trying to reach this particular candidate. So hey, Keisha Moorhorn, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Hello, Glenn Tyson, Dr. Sherman Mars, Desmond Wilson, LaShannon Ray. Thank you all for joining us. And we're on here just talking about some of the election results from last night here in Broward County and the state. Like I just said, that was the state representative District 98. So on to state representative District 99. That was Daryl Nevroy Campbell. He got over 74% of the vote. And the clerk of the courts, Broward County clerk of the courts, Brenda Foreman, she pulled it out. Charles F. Hall, he ran a strong race, and so did Annette R. Daniels. They all
they did
very well. And I believe that if one of those candidates had dropped out, they would have easily probably beaten Miss Foreman.
And if it had been a 2-person race, I believe Miss Foreman would have been defeated this time.
A lot of people that was unhappy with her, that we ran into in the community while we were out, just doing stuff for our podcast, and there was a lot of people that were unhappy. We don't know the stories personally, but we just heard some of the chatter. So, and
the way she did, allegedly the way she did Miss Daniels. I mean, I don't think Miss Daniels have no reason to tell a lie. The way Miss Daniels was unceremoniously fired, that was wrong, and I don't like that. I mean, like I say again, just because someone run against you does not mean you have to retaliate against them and fire them if that's what happened. And I believe we see that all the time here in Broward County. We saw that a few years ago, 4 years ago, with the new state attorney we had on our show.
Pryor.
Not Harold Pryor.
Oh, you were talking about Ruby Green.
Ruby Green.
Ruby Green ran for public defender.
Public defender, and
and
Help Me Howard
Howard Finkelstein.
Fired her, and Gordon Weeks ended up getting the position. Hopefully we can get Mr. Weeks on here.
We did reach out to him, but he didn't. At the time,
I guess
he didn't want to talk to us.
Yeah, he's probably still hurt because we had Ruby Green on here. And Ruby Green has done excellent things now as a Broward County prosecutor, and it's nothing wrong with being a prosecutor. We need more black prosecutors. So when black people get in as prosecutors, don't vilify them. Especially the ones that's really out there doing their job and seeking real, true justice. Look at Johnny Cochran, the late Johnny Cochran, my hero. Johnny Cochran.
Doesn't fit, you must have quit.
Johnny Cochran was in the California state attorney's office before he became famously known. And then before that, he represented Geronimo Pratt. Johnny Cochran represented a lot. So Johnny Cochran was actually in the prosecutor's office, and he prosecuted a lot of people. I'm quite sure a lot of them was black. And Johnny Cochran rose strongly for black people. So don't vilify a person because they're black and they happen to work in the state attorney's office or was a prosecutor. You don't see white folks vilifying their prosecutors. White folks never vilify their prosecutors. Actually, they hail them. And I mean, I understand some of the stuff that came along with Kamala, I believe her name, Kamala. A few cases that Vice had on where you had a few people that was wrongly accused in her office. I know 2 of them were wrongly prosecuted, and they said how Kamala came in on the day of the decision, the jury decision, and she was like celebrating and high five, and so those are legitimate concerns. Should that define her? No, but that's a part of her record. And when you bring that record up, I don't think people should get upset because you bring that record up again. I don't think people should bring it up, or nor should I think again that people should use because a black person was previously a prosecutor. Believe me, it was black people that prosecuted the murderer of my sister. And it was when we went back, it was 3 black high-ranking people in that office in there that prosecuted Trotman. So, and they were after him. So, I mean, those people should be applauded, not vilified because they are prosecutors.
If you break the law, what do you think? They're not supposed to do their job when that case makes it down there to the state attorney's office? What do you think they're supposed to do?
Supposed to do their job.
Tap on the hand and let you murder people. They're supposed to prosecute you. That is their job. Okay, is to prosecute people. So all of the people that was out there talking about Kamala Harris locked up all these black people, you shouldn't have broke the law. First of all, and if you wouldn't have been down there before her. Okay?
And if she did lock up some innocent people, then it's definitely ways to go by to get compensated and sue, and those people's stories still should be told. The ones that were falsely accused or wrongly locked up, their story has to be told too. So it's a balance.
Everybody has to have their day in court as well. We understand that, you're innocent until proven guilty by a jury of your peers. So there you have it. In the race for sheriff, Gregory Tony, the incumbent Gregory Tony, he got over 50% of the vote. So he'll be going up against a Republican. Is it? No, he got over the 50% of the vote.
Yes, no runoff there.
I don't think it's a runoff. So
no.
Yeah, he got over 50%.
So
the tax collector. This is interesting because we had Abby Ajayi,
all 3 candidates,
and Dwight Forrest and Perry E. Thurston. Everybody knows Perry Thurston, attorney from Pompano, grew up, born and raised in Pompano. We had all 3
former
of them
state
here.
senator and representative,
right? And they all came, visited our church, Greater Bethel AME Deerfield Beach, and they were all strong candidates. But Abby Ajayi came through with the upset.
All 3 were good candidates
too.
They were
very good candidates, and they ran. It was a tight race, really tight race. A tight race. So congratulations to Miss Ajayi.
Congratulations.
She promised that she would come back on our podcast and talk to us after she won. And Mr. Forrest said the same thing, and Mr. Thurston said the same thing as well. So congratulations to you, Mr. Ajayi, and hopefully you are off to a good start down there and you don't have any bumps in the road, which I'm sure there will be. It's a new office, a new tax collector's office here in Broward County. So there's going to be some bumps in the road. So you got to expect that. Supervisor of elections, Joe Scott, he was unopposed, I believe.
No, he had a candidate. Yeah.
Russell Roberto Bathulia.
Yes.
He easily beat whoever that guy is.
Yeah.
And then the judges.
Very important.
Very important. The judges, when you break the law, these are the people that you have to go down there in the courthouse and sit in front of. Hello, Glenn Tyson and Tony Get Sensational Sands. I saw you pop in there earlier. What's up, Tony? The circuit judge, 17th Judicial Circuit Court, Group 1. Christina Grace, Carol Lisa Phillips.
Yeah.
She won. And group number 38, Stephanie C. Moon.
Who was at our church.
Right,
yes.
As well. She beat
another public defender, Johnny Weeks.
Johnny Weeks. And Kathleen Mary Katie McHugh. She beat Scott Shapiro, Group 10. You had Samuel Ford Stark. He was on our podcast as well. So
yes,
congratulations to you, Samuel Stark. On your
I think he's going to be a good judge. Samuel Stark, I believe he's going to be a good, fair judge. Yeah. But I think he has to go on. I think all of them has someone that they might have to face in December. So good luck. I mean, not December. I'm sorry, November 5th. Yeah, in the general election. So good luck to Samuel Ford Stark, who was on our podcast.
County Court Judge, Group 16, Kathleen, Katie, and Joni. She went on to victory
over Joseph Zager.
Right, and this one here, Tamar Hamilton. She's been running a really tight race these last couple of elections, but she's been coming up a little bit short. I believe we had on our podcast, didn't we?
We got to get Tamar
on
Hamilton in office. I don't know what the problem is. People got to get out and vote, man. I believe Miss Hamilton will make an excellent judge. I don't know. She ran a tight race. I'm looking at it. Friedman had 50.40%. Miss Hamilton had 49.60%. And Friedman had 90,215 votes to Miss Hamilton 88,767 votes. Tight race. Miss Hamilton keeps coming up short, but we got to get Miss Hamilton in there. I believe she will make an excellent judge.
About 1,400 votes, I think. So a little bit over 4.
So voting counts. Yeah. Don't tell me vote and don't count.
Group County Court Judge, Group number 32. It was Lauren Nicole Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Maybe I pronounced that wrong.
Yeah.
Pardon me. School Board District. It was Maura Bowman. She got 51% of the vote, and clearly Broward County didn't want the two school board members that Ron DeSantis appointed. Tori Alston. He got his butt whipped.
Yeah, he got beat bad
by Rebecca Thompson. And clearly the voters made a statement. They didn't want this guy.
And Tory seems like he's a yes man. I mean, we reached out to him. People asked us to, back when they did a lot of their little shady stuff last year, people asked us, man, actually we had a cousin asked us to try to get Tory Austin on here. And we reached out to him. He's not going to come. I mean, he's not going to come on. Most of those people are not going to come on black media. They're not. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, not even the Republicans. It's a lot of the Democrats. They will not come on black media for some reason. But it's good to see Tori Austin get stomped, and he wasn't nothing but a Ron DeSantis flunky. So he got stomped, and that's good for him. Good riddance.
Yeah. So when the people, elect someone, and then the governor comes and removes them because he has another agenda. And this is what happens. The people go back to the polls again and they put who they want in there. So hopefully Ron DeSantis will respect
He won't. He won't.
The voters, the people. People spoke loudly at the polls last night. Sarah Leonardi, she won last night 20,000.
School Board District 3.
School Board District 3. School Board District 5 was Jeff Holdness cruised the victory.
Who we had on our podcast here. He won. He
well.
came on our podcast years ago.
And lastly, School Board at Large, Deborah Hickson. I thought we had her on here too, didn't we?
I don't remember. We don't have so many people. We might have did have Miss Hickson on in the past.
Well, congratulations to everybody that won.
Definitely.
Their race last night. I know it's been a long time, long political trail out there, but it's over for now. So
until November. It's not over till November 5th.
So you still gotta hit the campaign trails and sell yourself to these to the voters of Broward County. So once again, congratulations to all the winners last night. And what else we got? We want to move on to some Deerfield Beach news here.
Yes, we have some Deerfield Beach news. Actually, there was a commission meeting last night, and it was discussed. Let me find it. Give me a moment. Where one of the ordinance was the City Commission, Deerfield Beach, amending Chapter 50, the Parks and Recreation Rules and Regulations, the use of community centers and other buildings of the city code ordinance to allow the consumption of alcoholic beverages within the Johnny L. Tigner Center. So the commission actually voted to allow alcohol at the Tigner Center in the ballroom area. And they put some stipulations on that last night too.
Not every event, but they're going to allow it.
Right. You have to go before the commission for one if you want to have alcohol at the Tigner Center. We still waiting to hear of an opening date. If anyone from the city of Deerfield Beach is in the chat, if anyone know any city officials, which we know they're going to be in the chat, if you know the opening date of the Tigner Center, please put it in there. But if you want to consume alcohol at the Tigner Center, when it opens, you're going to have to go before the commission and get a special permit. You also are going to have a security guard or a BSO personnel there. So you're going to have to meet those two guidelines, and I'm quite sure it's going to be on a individual basis. So if you're going to send someone there before the commission, make sure their record is straight. Make sure they don't have no felonies, because quite sure you come there to get the permit. Those folks going to check that. So let's be clear. When you go before them, send someone that has a clear record. Don't send no one with no shady past there, and the commission is going to end up eating them alive. So just do that. Just govern yourself accordingly, even when you do have alcohol consumption out to the Tigner Center. Don't mess it up because they just sitting back waiting on someone to mess up, and you already know they're gonna snatch the alcohol from there.
Yeah, and they're gonna go in and leave your Hennessy bottles and your Patron bottles sitting on the floor, and they take pictures of this stuff and they send it up to the commissioners. And
yes,
there's nothing good gonna come out of it, so people don't mess it up.
No,
okay,
and it's not gonna be. I forget how what did the city manager say? Me and Daryl was looking last night.
I can't remember.
And it's not going to be like a free for all there. So, like, again, if you're going to have alcohol to the Tigner Center, y'all govern yourself accordingly. Again, y'all already know.
You know what? Everybody know what's in the little red cups when you have your little red cups.
And don't go outside with it.
Yeah, don't
stay
go outside,
in the inside.
If you go out there to your car and fill your cup up, man, just come on, use your brain, use your common sense or whatever, I worked at the EPAT Larkin Center and the Emma Luke Olson Civic Center, some of the biggest centers in Pompano, and there were no alcohol allowed. Okay. And I used to tell the people, I was like, hey man, look, I don't want to see any bottles in here and anything. If I see any bottles back there anywhere in your event, I'm going to shut your event down. And you're not going to get your deposit back. I say, but if you go out to the car and you come back in with a little red cup or a white cup or whatever, I'm not going to go stick my nose in your cup. Okay. So if you're going to do it, at least try to be, and I'm not giving people, examples on how to do it, but I'm just talking about me personally. I didn't go and stick my nose down. Someone come through the door, let me smell your cup. I don't do that. I could have, but I didn't. Okay. So, like my brother said, govern yourselves accordingly and don't go walking up in there with a big gallon of Hennessy and Patron and Tito's and leave your bottles in the trash and everything and all over the center, because there's nothing good going to come out of it. Okay.
Yeah, clean up, because honor the name of Johnny Tigner, who was a good man. We
Very
watched
good, man.
Tig there
Very
from
good,
the time we were kids. That just shows you how long he was out there and how respected Tig was. He was a good, quiet, humble man, always smiling, always laughing. You very rarely ever saw Tig upset, and just honor his memory out there while you're in that building. Like I say, don't mess it up for everyone. The city, I was surprised. I'm being honest. I was surprised that they allowed alcohol
So
there
was I.
because I just did not think they were gonna allow it. So that tells you things aren't changing here for the positive here, but we just can't allow some to come in and mess it up for those that have been here for the long run and have fought to get the seating, have fought for everything out there at the Tigner Center, which is going good. That is going to be a beautiful building once that's finished. And what a great honor for a great man in Johnny Tigner.
So if you guys got any suggestions on what you would like to see in
the Tigner
Center, let your commissioner know. Ben Preston, let him know. You could tell us, or we could pass it on, or we can mention it here on our podcast. Some of the things.
Put it in the chat.
We can put it in the chat. We'll read it off, and they trust me. The commissioners, the mayor, the city manager, all of them, they watch our podcast. So there's a lot of the staff members there at the city of Deerfield Beach. They watch, and as well as Pompano and Delray, and not just Deerfield. We don't just. We have a lot of people watching our podcast
and reach out to us. Like the county. We have a lot of county, Broward County officials have reached out to us and said they want to partner with us, just like how Deerfield do. They want to bring their officials on. They will
be coming on here.
So you will see Broward County officials on here from now on. We hope to get all the commissioners. We're in talks right now, and we appreciate Jonathan Salas. Right here in Deerfield, we had Jonathan on here before, and for being the liaison with Broward County. And we're going to have Broward County officials on here in the future. Hopefully, like I said, we're going to have the commissioners, and we're going to have different departments from the Broward County here on our podcast.
And they were also, is it anything else? They were talking about the freebie ride share. There's a freebie ride share, free transportation that the city of Deerfield Beach offers. I was looking for the email, but you can catch a ride you have to schedule it, first of all. I think you have to go on the app, and I wish I could find the email. You have to go on the app and you have to schedule it, but it's free. Totally free, but it has to be
anywhere in the city.
It'll pick you up, and it'll take you to a business in the CRA district, which is over
on the beach area,
east of Federal,
Publix, and all that area.
You want to go to Publix, or you want to go to Fat Boys Barbecue. You want to go to the Cove over there. You want to go to Whale's Ribs on the beach. You want to go to the pier. You want to go to
the beach.
Go to the beach. Wherever you are in Deerfield Beach, just go on the app and schedule it, and they will pick you up. And when you get ready to go home, they will take you back home, but it's certain hours. And again, I can't find the email. I've been looking
I think
for
it starts at around 4 o'clock, something like that.
something. Yeah. I had the email here and I can't seem to locate it right now, but pretty much just go on the City of Deerfield Beach website, www.deerfield-beach.com, and look on and you'll see the freebie ride share service that they offer. It's totally free, but you have to schedule it. Okay. You know, some people don't have a car right now. Your car may be broken down and you just want to go out with your girl friend or your wife or you just by yourself. Just go on and schedule it and they'll pick you up. I'll pick you up and take you to the CRA district, which is east of Federal Highway. You can't go out to 441, not 441, but you can't go out the Power Line Road and down the Sample Road. It has to be over to the CRA district, which is east of Federal Highway. So I want to be clear.
And that's for all residents here. Don't let no one put foolishness. That black, white, Asian, Hispanic, everyone. Is get the app. I believe put the app on your phone, but that's for everyone.
I think it's called Freebie. And
don't let no one fool you with rumors and lies and innuendos.
And I was trying to find it. I wish I could just go to the.
And also last night, the Deerfield Beach City Commission talked about a charter review board, coming up with a board. They haven't had a charter review board since 2006, I believe it was. Might be before then. I believe it was 2006 was the last time. But I want people to pay attention to whoever they put on that board. This go for everyone, because sometimes people get on that charter amendment board and they have their own agenda. And a lot of those people haven't been here all their life like us. So you have to be very careful of some of the people that get put on these charter review boards, because they come up with some of the most craziest things that affect us here in Deerfield Beach. Just be careful of who they put, if they do it, and when they do it. Just be careful of the people that's put on that charter review amendment board, because I heard Commissioner Drosky said that I think he might have heard people want to change the height amendment for the buildings here in Deerfield. Even if they do, it has to go through the voters.
Yeah.
So regardless of whatever they put on there, whether their intentions are good or bad, it has to go through the voters.
And don't forget about the Live Local law, because that Ron DeSantis passed. The governor signed that. He pretty much told them you can go up as high as you want.
Yeah.
And the city of Deerfield hands are tied right now. So the Live Local law trumps whatever they pretty much what they're gonna come up with.
Yeah. Either way, like I said, the people here have to vote on it anyway. It's just like they tried to pull that. And that wasn't a charter review board here when that was about a year ago, when they tried to pull that, a year or two ago, when they tried to pull term limits. Term limits are not good for this city here. We don't need a place where politicians stay in office forever. That does nothing for, especially the black community. It does nothing for us here. It does really, if you ask me, the senators and the U.S. representatives,
they all should be term limited.
All just like here in the
Court
state,
as well.
The Supreme Court, they all should have term limits. It's no way those people should get in office and be able to stay in there 30 years. Hey, give them a 12-year term. I'll give them. If they give them 12 years in the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate, and then they should be gone. It's no way they should be able to keep running. And I believe we did vote for that one time, or have that one time, and the Supreme Court struck it down and just said it was just for the local. So it ended up being for like Florida here. Now we have our U.S. Our state representatives and our state senators now are term limited. Well, we need that all over this country, and then we'll get a lot of that gridlock that's in office. We'll get a lot of that gridlock out of there, regardless of what anyone say. A lot of that gridlock will be gone.
Yeah.
Also, did anyone see that Roland Martin got ran up on? Roland Martin made some statements about this young Chicago activist named Jamal Green. Roland called him stupid. I'm gonna play I want to play it too. I want to play exactly what Roland said on his show. I want to play that.
You know, I saw that too, and I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. I was at work at the time. While Wayne is pulling that up, I'm gonna go back to the freebie ride share. I pulled it up. The Deerfield Beach Community Redevelopment Agency, DBCRA, has partnered with Freebie to provide a free on-demand 100% electric transportation to and from district businesses. The new rideshare service offers free on-demand rides in electric-powered Tesla vehicles to riders requesting a ride from any home or hotel in the city of Deerfield Beach to any business in the Deerfield Beach CRA, which is east of Federal Highway. That is the CRA district. Rides will not be available to riders requesting a ride from the Cove to the beach. So if you live in the Cove area, which is right where the Intracoastal is, and then you need to just go across the bridge, you got to walk. Okay, so don't call them and request a ride. They're not going to pick you up. After riders have visited their desired restaurant, store, or service, they can book a return ride for free as well. All rides are based on availability and must be booked through the Freebie app. It's a Freebie app. The service will operate from 4 p.m. through 11 p.m. Thursday through Sundays. Thursday through Sunday from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. You can book a ride and get a ride absolutely free. And you have to download the Freebie app. Okay. The Freebie app. And you could go to www.ride, RIDE, free, FREEBEE.com, ridefreebie.com. Okay. And you can download the app. And if you go on the City of Deerfield Beach website, there is there's a QR code there. You can scan the QR code and it will take you directly to the app. So pass that information along to anybody that needs a ride, or some senior citizen, or someone that doesn't have a car. Maybe their car is broken down or whatever, and they just want to go out and have dinner on the beach or just walk up and down the beach. So share that information with everyone. Let me acknowledge some quick people right here. Hello, Keisha, Patricia Arnold. Hey, how you doing, Patricia? Vina Joseph, Mitchell Smith, Star McCall, Joanne Duncan Smith, Patricia Palmer, I'm sorry, Cindy Soretta, Vanessa Burton, Jennifer Jenkins, Sharon Bolden, Shauna Johnson. Hey, classmate, how you doing, Shauna? And Nakisha Mohorn said, hey, twins. Hey, Nakisha. So there you go, Wayne. You want to play that audio now?
Yes, this is a audio of Roland Martin. Roland Martin was on his show, and I like Roland. Roland made some very disparaging comments about this young activist in Chicago named Jamal Green. Jamal has been a person in his community. I follow him on social media. I have been following him for about 5-6 years now. Phenomenal youngster. We need more youngsters out here on the front line fighting. And Jamal made some comments that he didn't agree with VP Kamala Harris when she unveiled her housing plan, and it was like giving a lot of immigrants tax credits or housing credits or whatever it was going to be. So Jamal spoke out against it, and of course everybody know Roland Martin. like I say again, I like Roland. I watch Roland on the Tom Joyner Morning Show when he used to do his segments. But one thing about Roland thinks he's the smartest black man in the room. He's one of those boule type of guys where he just think him and a lot of people, a lot of women and guys like him think they're the smartest person in the room, and they think that you can't have an opinion on anything. And this is, as I say all the time, what I see right now in this election cycle, where people feel like people can't say anything about the Democratic Party or Kamala Harris or anything. Well, I'm getting ready to play this audio right now, and it's being narrated by a guy. So I just want to play this, and you'll listen to what Roland said, and then I'll play Jamal Green response to that.
That's just how it goes. You got to be ready for that. That's what comes with it. Or you just got to watch what you say. And so after that, Roland Martin decides to do an entire segment on his show about Jamal Green. And let's just play a little bit of that video so you guys can see what he says.
Fair use.
Matt, here was this fool, Jamal Green. Go to my iPad. This fool tweeted, does anybody want to tell me what first generation is code for? LOL. Dumbass is first generation. Pay attention to the cryptic words being used to show us what agenda is their agenda. Yet you literally have black folks acting like the Democrats will prioritize you when you have the lowest home ownership rate in the country at 44%. Like, stop. See, Matt, the reason I can't stand fools like this here, and I think this fool ran for mayor of Chicago or something, I don't know, but he's stupid. Here's why.
He did run for mayor of Chicago, and shout out to him for doing that. Running for mayor of a large city is not an easy thing to do. And I thought that his campaign was, well, I didn't pay too much attention to his campaign. I remember he ran, but I remember he said some things that he wanted to do that I was definitely in favor of. I think it's actually courageous when young people like him run for mayor. It takes so much work, paperwork. You got to get signatures. I just think that's kind of lame to go after somebody and said, oh, this fool ran for mayor. What's wrong with running for mayor? Like, I don't know. Let's keep going.
Here's why it's dumb. I remember 2008 having Alphonso Jackson, who was the HUD secretary.
All right, so I'm definitely not going to go into the entire rebuttal. I'm just covering the drama here. But yeah, so basically, Roland Martin did an entire segment. He's calling them names. He's calling them stupid. This guy's an idiot. He doesn't know anything. And Jamal Green took offense to that. I don't mind Jamal Green pulling up and confronting him, because unfortunately with guys like this, they think they're higher than mighty. They think they're too good to meet up with you or confront you unless you have like this big name. And I would definitely say that Roland Martin has a bigger platform than Jamal Green. So the only way Jamal Green would ever be able to confront him is he would have no choice but to pull up on him. That's the only way. If he emails him or calls him or whatever, gets his number, whatever, he's just not going to respond. That's just how these guys roll. So I'm not mad at Jamal Green for saying, you know what, I don't appreciate what you said to me. I'm going to pull up to you in person, and we're going to test the temperature. We're going to see what your energy is, because again, he's a man, and you're calling out another man. You're calling him out his name. You can't control how people respond. Again, I'm not for the violence. I'm not saying you should be violent, but if somebody wants to confront you on something you said about them in a church, not that huge of a deal to me. That's just my opinion. Also,
and that's the audio of Roland Martin, where he was on his nightly podcast on YouTube, and Roland just went. This young man, very courageous. He ran for the mayor of Chicago when the time Laura Lightfoot, I believe her name was, had won. But this is a young guy. We always should be encouraging and ushering our young people to run for office. And he ran. And because Roland disagreed with him, Roland called him a dumbass and an idiot. And the guy, Jamal Green, on Twitter said, he told Roland, when I see you in Chicago, which Jamal Green lives in Chicago, he told him, when I see you, I'm gonna see you. We're gonna have a conversation. And that's just what happened. Jamal Green saw Roland, and he went up to him, and like the guy that was doing the video said, Roland would never have a conversation with anyone, because Roland thinks that, and him and a lot of older people, for some reason, from that what they call it, the greatest generation, and from the baby boomer generation, they think that a lot of them, some of them, think that they can just talk reckless to young people. They think their views on sex, religion, and politics goes. And I'm sorry if I offend anyone on here by saying this. I'm sorry, but I see it all the time. They think that they're the smartest people in the room because they're older, and when they see young people like Jamal Green, that's all Jamal was asking for was for the Democratic Party to focus more on housing by Americans, not just immigrants coming over here getting tax credits. And that's all he questioned. And Roland actually got upset, called them, calling him stupid, and oh, he ran for mayor of Chicago, like downplaying that. That was very courageous of that young brother to run for mayor of Chicago. Like I say, we should be building up our young people, not trying to tear them down. And I noticed, and this is just my observation, and I'm going to play another clip where Jamal Green is explaining himself, one with Dr. Boyce Watkins and one by himself. He was just telling what went on, but I want to go back again and talk about, soon as I play these clips right here, I want to elaborate on that a little bit more. Here's the Jamal Green explaining what happened when he pulled up on Roland in Chicago at a DNC event.
People need to know the real narrative and the facts. Number one, Roland Martin is the aggressor here. He came after me publicly. He was paid to do so. I was on Twitter talking about how we need to be critical of these campaigns and make sure that we get policies so that when whoever become president, they don't forget about us. Roland Martin called me stupid, dumb, an idiot, and a fool on his show. I never tweeted at Roland Martin. I never talked about Roland Martin at all. He came to my Twitter page quoting my tweets to call me stupid. And then he did a show about me and he called me a fool. Now, what I did was I went to an event that he was at today, and I went to ask for a conversation. My arms were folded. I was not being aggressive, and he kept pushing it off, kept trying to leave and not have a conversation with me. And you saw what happened on this video. This, guys, we cannot stand for. We cannot stand for voices to continue to be stumped on because they don't agree with you. I don't have to agree with Roland Martin to be smart. I can have my own views. I'm a grown man. And there's no reason why this man twice his age should be publicly calling me stupid, dumb, and a fool. But when I approach him in public, he has nothing to say to me. You got to do better. And we got to do better to stop supporting these guys who are disrespecting the voices who are doing the actual work.
And that right there was Jamal Green. I'm going to play one more clip now of Jamal talking to Dr. Boyce Watkins about it. And again, it's like whenever the election come, I see this on Facebook, and it'd be a lot of the older generation from that greatest generation and from the baby boomer generation. They always try to shut the generation X down, because especially when you go to talking about getting tangible benefits for Black people, you see that older generation of Black people, they lose their mind. They go to you can't talk about it, or this is the wrong time to talk about it. And it's not. I mean, everything during an election, everything is fair game. At the end of the day, Black people shouldn't be on there arguing with each other about an election. But this is where we are right now. And you see me, I'm totally against Black people arguing with each other. You shouldn't be arguing with no one on social media. And I just want to play this one other clip with Jamal Green. Fair use YouTube. I know we're on YouTube and too also, and Facebook. This video is being used for educational purpose, fair use under the Fair Use Act. All the videos that I played is under the Fair Use Act of 1976. So I'm going to play this video here with Jamal Green with Dr. Boyce Watkins. And a lot of people might not know Dr. Boyce. He's an economist and very held to high esteem in the Black community as far as economics. Here we are. I'm going to go right now. This is Jamal Green with Dr. Boyce Watkins.
It's utterly insane that we can't have independent voices that speak for themselves without people being emotional about their party. I mean, that makes no sense. We black folks have been living projects. People talking about Project 2025. We've been living Project 16, 19 to 2024 because we have never moved to a decent level in America. And the fact that we literally have people who are so tied to the party that a Jamal Green can't criticize or say anything that he believes, that a Dr. Watkins can't say what he believes without them getting in their feelings and just spewing attacks. It's insane. If we don't have independent voices, we are already losing. This is what my mentor told me today, Mr. Pamon Rami. This is what he said. He said, if we have a time where people cannot speak the truth, we've already lost. If everybody was on the same page, then that's a problem. You have to have people that see things differently, to point things out that people can't see, that says, that criticize everyone in an independent fashion and not just leaning towards anyone. If you cannot have these type of voices, then we've already lost. So we got. How are you feeling?
Okay,
There you have it.
That is Jamal Green, and he's right. I mean, we have to have different voices. We
And
have to
different opinions.
That's right. We
They
all
have to be
can't think
respected.
alike. If we think alike, then we lost as black people already. And I'm talking to my black people specifically. I know we have a white audience that's watching too, but I'm talking directly to my black audience right now, because we seem every time to lose our dang on mind during election season. And I say again that greatest generation of blacks and that baby boomer generation of blacks, they tried to shut the younger Gen X and the ones that came after them. Anytime they say anything, especially about trying to get benefits for black people, they will try. Some of them will try to shut you down, and you're shooting yourself in the foot, because if you got young activists out there that's trying to get benefits for us, okay, and you have someone like Roland Martin, who's from my generation. Roland was born in November of 1968. He's from that Gen X generation, but Roland funds come from a lot of the
Donations from black viewers.
yes, and from that baby boomer and greatest generation. That's where most of his donations come from. So for Roland, like I say, Roland is a boule guy. He thinks he's the smartest black person in the room. When he come in the room, he thinks he knows everything about politics. And give it to Roland Martin. He is very smart.
He's very educated.
Oh,
on
he's
a lot of
very
things,
educated.
but
I love to watch him, but when he's always on there.
you don't have to belittle people, though.
Yeah, exactly. He's always on there calling black people stupid. Y'all stupid because black people come during election time and ask for their people in the Democratic Party to put forth something that's gonna benefit us. When you go and you want to invest, you look for a return. We're investing in the Democratic Party, so we're looking for something in return. We just can't keep voting for you during election time. And then, as I say again, you get those people from that generation, they get upset. Anytime you mention anything about, we rolled with President Obama, most of us rolled with him. And at some point, we saw the Congress, Obama couldn't get anything done. We know because of the Congress.
He had control of the House
2
and the
years.
Senate in his first 2 years.
Yes,
he could
he
have got
did.
a lot done, but he didn't. He should have took advantage of that.
And he didn't. And Darrell is absolutely correct. He didn't do it. So, we look for a return. When you invest in anything, you look for a return. And if people out there and invest in their vote, then they should be able to look for something in return from our politicians. You only hear them say locally here, well, what is this person here doing? Well, think about that the next time you say that. Think about what are your people in your party doing for you? And it's not lost for people within our party to question and ask for benefits that people that live here. Now, do y'all really think it's that people just coming over here, immigrants, illegals, could be able to come over? Just think a legal could come over here,
get food
get
stamps,
food
and
stamps,
housing
a housing.
vouchers.
And we see people on the streets every day here. They can come over here and their credit starts from zero. They'll have a perfect credit score when you've been here struggling all your life. And I don't want to crap on the immigrants, but we saw again when the Cuban immigrants came over here in the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. They came over here and they were saying that Castro was against them. And when they got here, what did they do? They turned around, they started voting all Republican, not all of them, but a good majority of them. And a lot of those Cubans, if you look online, those Cubans are some of them are the most anti-Black. If you look at half the comments on Facebook and YouTube, look at the names, they're the most anti-Black that you ever saw. But they came over here and they got the same free handouts that a lot of the immigrants from Mexico or wherever else coming over here now. But it's strange enough now that they're over here entrenched now, and they don't want those people to get those same benefits that they got, and they got a head start on most of us.
And let me say this here too, while we're talking about handouts and stuff. As most of you all know, like a few years ago, back in 2021, I lost my daughter. My daughter was ill, and she had some heart problems from when she was young. And my daughter, from the time she got out of high school and went to culinary school and start working, and she worked. And anybody that knows my daughter remembers my daughter Brittany. Brittany was always working out with the Packer Rattlers, donating her time and everything. And then she started working. And then when she got sick, when she weren't able to work anymore, she had kids at the same time. So at one time, you had all these doctors signing off on Brittany's paperwork saying that, she can't work. She couldn't stand up. Her legs would swell up. She was short of breath, had to wear oxygen and everything. Long story short, she had gone downhill the last few years right before she passed away, and she needed a little bit of help. Worked hard all of her life, but you know what? They didn't give her one thing. No kind of assistance. Not that we were asking what she was asking for it, but she didn't get it. You know what? So I took it upon myself. I wrote her checks out of my own pocket every month. Every single month, I made sure my daughter and grandkids were good. Okay, but I get pissed off when I see people come over here, and soon as they get off of the boat or the plane or whatever, when they get here, they come across the border, they hand them housing vouchers. They didn't give my daughter housing vouchers. They give them food stamps, $2,000 worth of food stamps. I was just in Walmart last week, and I had 3 items in my hand, and then the people in front of me had 2 shopping carts full of food, and I know they didn't pay for it cash. The lines were wrapped all the way back into the aisles. I really hate going to Walmart right now, but I'm saying all of this to say this: they didn't even want to give my daughter not one thing. We're not asking for a handout. I didn't ask for it. I just flat out told my daughter, "Don't worry about it. I got you." And I wrote her checks every single week to make sure she had what she needed and my grandkids. But it kind of pissed me off that, I could see people come here from another country and they give them $2,000 in food stamps and give them housing vouchers, and they can go buy a house
over us. That's here.
And you got Black people that's been here all of our lives, and we struggle to get a house.
Their credit is
part
good.
Part of it is our fault because we don't have good credit. We had good credit, but we screwed it up. So we're not blaming that on them. But it's so many things that I see, and that bothers me. And now I have a voice that's behind this microphone here, and people are going to hear my voice. They didn't want to give my daughter a damn thing.
But the immigrants can come over here and they give them everything.
Everything. So I agree with Donald Trump on this. Close down the borders. Close them completely down. Close them down. I don't care. close them down. You know, the people that's here, welcome. The ones that want to come here, go fix your own country.
We
up.
can't go to their country and get benefits like that. You go to their country over there, have a bullet in your suitcase and go over there to a lot of those countries. You will be over there in jail for the next 6 months or a year.
Unique Black, welcome. Lakeisha Davis, Dolores Aaron up there in Savannah, Georgia. Hey, Dolores. Demetrius Meaty Gibbons. What's up, Demetrius? Wendy Dukes McIntosh, Darrell Wilson, Lorraine Aldridge. Hey, cousin. Tiffany Andrews, Anissa.
Hello, everyone.
Reed, Judy Wilson. Patricia Early Lane. Hello, everyone, and welcome to.
And we going deep
Adams
on here
Brothers
today,
and-
so I mean,
We
it
keeping
might
a
offend.
buck on here today.
That's right. It
We
might
keeping a
offend
buck.
some people, but it is what it is. And the immigrants are coming over here, and that's not a Republican thing. That should be an American thing. We have to look out for our people over here. You go walk down your street, you got homeless black people over here every day. They don't have a house. Some of it their own fault, yes. But how can someone come over here and in 2 months they're getting $500, $600, $700, $800 a month when you got people over here can't even get that. So we need to look out. All we're saying is look out for our own over here first. That's not a Donald Trump thing.
And then
I don't even know why black people trying to make it a Donald
and
Trump
as soon
thing.
as they get here, they start crapping on the United States government and talking about America,
Black people and black
America's a
people
bunch of crap,
lazy.
and this and that, you know, and that bothers me, you know. So again, they didn't want to give my daughter not one thing, you know. But me, thank God, you know, I was able to work and provide for my daughter until she left this earth. You know, but it pisses me off to see. I go to Walmart and see the people in front of me with 2 and 3 shopping carts full of groceries, you know, $1,200 worth of groceries or more, and they got food stamps, and they wouldn't give my daughter not one thing. So,
And I want to say this, y'all remember
that kind of pisses me off a little bit when I ride to work every morning and I see people getting assistance, government assistance, and sitting out there smoking weed every morning, you know, getting high 8 o'clock in the morning while I'm on my way to work. So yes, that pisses me off.
And
go ahead.
do y'all remember when you used to can go to the grocery store and get $200 worth of groceries and your trunk was full? You go to the store now and get $200 worth of groceries. You can put them in your passenger seat of your car right now.
5 or 6 bags.
You can put them in the passenger seat of your car.
You go get a bag of potato chips. It's the bag is this big. If it got this much potato chips in the bag, it's all air.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to look at the Biden administration. They look, this is up under your watch.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff wasn't what it was. Let's just face it. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100.
Keeping it 100
a lot of this
now.
wasn't happening when Trump was in office. Okay.
And I don't like Trump, and I won't vote for him.
And yeah,
okay.
Yes, but let's just keep it real. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 101. A lot of this stuff weren't happening when Trump was in office. So,
and he had a Congress that was more receptive to him. Of course, they're gonna try to make Trump look good. Of course, nobody don't have to come on here and check us and tell us that. We already know he had a Congress and a Senate that was favorable to him. So of course, he was gonna make moves. He's gonna make moves that they're gonna make moves that's gonna benefit him when he was in office. So of course, we get that. We're not stupid as like everyone, like Roland Martin. So we understand politics. We understand exactly how politics go. And also, I got another tape that I want to play, a very interesting tape. If the other day, matter of fact, let me do this right here first.
So while he's queuing that up, again, what's up, Judy Wilson, Regina? Hello, welcome to the Adams Brothers podcast. We on here keeping it a buck. We keeping it 100. You know, hey, that's what we do. If you know us, you talk to us in person. We talk like this behind these microphones. We talk like this in public. We don't care if you black or white, yellow, green, purple, whatever you ask. We raw and uncut. We give it to you like a drink, so a strong drink on the rocks.
And that could be a product of global inflation, Sherman. That all fits in. I mean, the food prices were high under every president that been in there. No one's not saying that. Again, global inflation is out there. We understand that. And I'm not sitting on here saying that stuff was better under. I done caught hell under every president that's been in office right now, from Nixon from the time that I can remember, from Nixon all the way up right now to Biden. So no, it's not a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing.
But they look at people who's in office at the time.
Yes,
the
you got to be
Democrats
accountable.
They hold the Democrats accountable.
If
So
Trump
we're
was
the
in
ones.
office, we'll be saying the same thing. But no one won't be. The Republicans will be saying, Sherman, they'll be saying, is that a product of global inflation? That is exactly what they will be saying too. So where is the accountability? The accountability runs on whoever is in office. That's just the way it goes. Unfortunately, it doesn't. A lot of people don't like it when Biden or Kamala is in there right now and she's running. So yeah, of course, it's a product of global inflation. Let me play this here right now. This is Don Lemon right now. Don Lemon is interviewing some black men, and I'm gonna play Don Lemon interviewing some black
From
women.
CNN. He was the anchor on CNN.
He was fired.
He was fired from CNN. So
This right here is gonna be Don Lemon, and he's talking to black men.
Talking to a lot of black men, they say they're supporting Donald Trump. Do you believe that? But who are you voting for?
Donald Trump. Trump.
I have to go Trump, man.
You said Trump. Yes, I think they are, and I think the reason why the money he gave away last time he was in office is what they're looking for again.
What money?
Even if it was illegally or legally, the PPE loans, stimulus, stuff like that.
That wasn't him.
Who was that?
It was a Democratic Congress.
Oh, that was,
He doesn't give away money.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what they probably think that's what the case is.
You know, they're actually looking and seeing who's going to benefit me more. Let me not just make a blind vote.
He run with the color people. He run with our type. That's why we like him, because he's more for us.
I think a lot of black men, they want something different. They don't just want to follow the black vote.
Are y'all in the same household?
Yes, sir.
He kind of feel like his vote doesn't count almost. That's the part that's kind of discouraging.
The top people see a difference, but the bottom people don't see a difference too much. It takes a long time for to see a difference.
Stuff happened with George Floyd. I say he gave us stimulus checks. Even though that was nothing, he didn't have to do that. He still blessed us with stimulus checks.
You know, he didn't do the stimulus checks. He didn't want to do it. That was a Democratic Congress. He only held it up to get his name on the check.
I did not know that. F Trump, man. I don't like Trump no more. F Trump. Kamala Harris. Kamala for president. Kamala for president.
I feel like they're brainwashed, honestly. He's not for us. He can't denounce white supremacy, setting rappers free, pardoning rappers to try to get their, try to get the sympathy vote from black people, and they fall for it.
And their money too. So don't just think he freed Kodak Black for no reason. Kodak Black had to pay him.
Oh yes, definitely had to pay a good generous amount towards.
And Lil Wayne, wasn't Lil Wayne involved in that as well?
Yeah,
I think he was, but don't just think that Donald Trump would pardon, just to help Lil Kodak Black get out of jail. They had to pay him. They shot him $1 million or something like that,
Yeah, and a lot of course, and Harry O. If a lot of people know Harry O, he's from Los Angeles. He was one of the big. Actually, Harry O. was one of the original founders of Death Row Records in the 80s, and Trump got Harry O. out of jail. Trump also got Kwame Kilpatrick, former Detroit mayor. Now, before I play this next video, the next video I'm gonna play is the women on Trump. And I haven't saw Joe Biden get any high-profile blacks out of jail. But when you question that, then people want to get upset. And we're keeping it a buck here again. Joe Biden had 3 years to get people out of jail. Now, when Trump do it, people get upset. But why have not Joe Biden got a lot of black people out of jail? Why haven't
he could have commuted that sentence?
Yes, he could have. He could have. Lord, he could have commuted a lot of y'all sentences. A lot of y'all sentences that's around here right now. A lot of people don't know. You can write the president, and people need to do that right now. Right?
But that's
President
on the federal
Biden
level,
right now to ask for clemency. When they leave office, they commute a lot of sentences.
On the
lot of
level.
y'all.
That's on the federal level, though.
A lot of y'all. Well, it can be done. I think
the governor does it at the state level.
A lot of that can be done. Please, if anyone have federal charges on anything and you just put in for clemency or whatever, maybe he'll do it, maybe he won't. but at least put in for
At least
it.
put in for it, you know.
I mean, you never know what could happen. But the question I'm asking now is, why didn't Joe Biden commute a lot of sentences of people like Trump? Why? That is a very legitimate
But
question.
most presidents, they'll do that when they're leaving office. They commute sentences, they pardon people, you know, and I'm sure he's probably going to do some of that too. He needs to. If he doesn't, then you know, that needs to be addressed. But every president that's leaving office, they usually commute or pardon.
Yeah.
X amount of people that's in felons that's in prison right now. So hopefully he does that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I mean, is there well, let me read this. I see Sherman. He said, how do we balance the need to support the least of thee, which is the responsibility of our Christian faith, with arguments against supporting immigrants seeking asylum? Well, if you ask me, Sherman, we have always supported, Black people always supported immigrants coming over here. And I still don't have a problem with immigrants coming here now and supporting them. We just cannot let our country become overrun by them, giving them benefits. What about our Christian faith of the people that's here right now that need help? We don't even want to help our veterans.
I just gave you an example about my daughter. They wouldn't give my daughter one thing.
Where's the Christian faith at there with Daryl's daughter and other people's daughters?
Who came up and said, okay, Brittany Adams, we're going to help you. You know, you need help. She sat there and she suffered and went downhill, you know, and she ultimately passed away, you know, of heart failure. And then get one thing. Finally, no, I won't say one thing. Let me back up a little bit. Finally, 4 months before she passed away, after years and years, over 10 years, she was trying to get some assistance, which she paid taxes and she worked, that she didn't get. Finally, 4 months before she passed away, when she had 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot out, they want to give her something. And it only lasted for 3 months, 3.5 months. So what happened to those other 8, 9, 10 years when she couldn't work and she tried to go back to work, and then she would pass out on the job because she couldn't stand up and she needed oxygen, you know, due to her heart condition. So what? You wouldn't give her nothing. Well, yeah, so that pisses me off. So I don't even want to get involved. I don't want to get too deep into this because it really bothers me. You know, when I see people in Publix and Winn-Dixie with 3 and 4 shopping carts full of groceries, and you wouldn't give my daughter a damn thing. Yes, that bothers me.
Yeah.
Okay?
And they can come over
So
here
go ahead.
and just get tangible benefits from us. No, we need to take care of our own. We got a lot of veterans right here in the chat right now. Take care of the veterans. They don't even really want to take care of the veterans.
Darryl Wilson served our country honorably. You know, and thank you for your service, Darryl Wilson, from the United States Marine Corps, his son Desmond, and everybody else that's in the chat that served our country. You know, the veterans out there sleeping on the streets out there, you know, that don't even have a house, can't even get a VA loan to get a house, you know, whatever, this and that. Take care of our people first. That's all I'm saying.
And our Christian faith can still go along with helping our immigrant brothers and sisters, but we need to take care of our own first. What is wrong with that? You can't go to their country. They don't talk about Christian faith when you come to their country. They don't care about us.
What was that?
Not saying we should not care about them.
We were talking about something that somebody called the United States crazy and stupid. You know, where else can we come from? I came from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And I got a degree and everything, and I didn't pay one dime for it. And now I took this degree and went back to my own country.
Yep. That's what someone said to someone that I know.
Someone said that, you know,
that they come over here and get a free education over here in the United States.
Don't pay little to nothing for it.
Exactly. And they went back to their country and they called our country stupid.
Stupid, because you can't go to their country and do that.
You know, so again, it's not about crapping on all the immigrants, because we got a lot of immigrants come over here and do jobs that we don't do. We understand that. We're not stupid and crazy. It's the fact of the matter is, take care of our own over here. The Republicans have turned that around against Kamala, Biden, and anyone else. When President Obama was in there, who everyone loved, President Obama deported more immigrants than any president. They say Joe Biden is a close second now, but the Republicans, you don't never hear that from the Republicans, but President Obama, he deported more immigrants than anyone. So he understood that, and his Christian faith was strong. I mean, hey, again, we have always helped immigrants, Sherman. We have always, when our Haitian and brothers, when our Haitian and Jamaican brothers was coming over here, who you think was fighting for them back in the 80s when they made it here? They was taking them back, repatriating them back to Haiti and Jamaica. We was the ones fighting for them back then. Foundation of Black Americans. That's what I am. I call, and right now, you know, you hear the argument about foundation of Black Americans. I'm a foundation of Black American. My family is. We didn't immigrate here. We came from Africa over 500 years ago. So yeah, we can still help our immigrant brothers. No one have fought more for immigrants than Black people. Dr. King, all the way from Dr. King, from Malcolm. Some of our best minds were immigrants, like the Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, Brother Malcolm. So we have always, as Black people, fought. But the Trump administration and the Republicans are using that. And I said that 4 years ago, that they were going to use this immigration thing right now. And look what's happening. People got upset. Oh, you know, and look what's happening right now. Their main focus right now is the immigration, the illegal immigration. You know what? And if someone don't see illegal immigration being a problem, then
it is a problem.
I mean, look, I'm not here to insult no one. I'm just telling you my point of view. My point of view is that we need to take care of our own people over here first, Americans first, and then whatever left, let's take care of our immigrant brothers like we have always did. Like I said before, no one has fought more for immigrants than foundational Black people right here from America. We have always fought for our immigrant brothers.
Sherman Morris says it is a zero-sum argument, gain argument. As Black Americans, we can support our community and immigrants seeking help. Yes, we can.
And we do it. We've been doing it, Sherman.
We don't want the immigrants to come over here and turn on Black people.
And it's not a zero-sum gain argument. I mean, we have always helped our immigrant brothers and sisters. Always. A lot of them come over here and shit on us when they get here. They come over here, call us lazy, call us everything else when they get here. So we have always had their back. So let me keep it a buck again on that. But that's neither here nor there. Let me play this. Let me go on ahead and let me play.
We'll have a panel discussion on this here. We got panel discussions coming up on a lot of things. While Wayne is queuing that up, we got another, you know, why the church is empty, because this keep coming up about the churches and everything. And, you know, the people are starting to come back to church and people still aren't happy with that, you know?
Yes. And this right here is going to be the women. You heard the men earlier talking about Donald Trump. Do they support him? And if they are, why they are supporting him. Now, this is Don Lemon again. And Don Lemon saw a bunch of women that he saw at some event. And Don went and spoke to the women. Again, YouTube, Facebook, this video is being used for educational purposes and journalistic commentary under the Fair Use Act. So this video is being used for fair use. I have to say that anybody that know Facebook will try to strike a lot of your video.
I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody Black in our face thinking that's gonna like make us vote for the Black person.
I voted for Obama because he was Black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first Black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald Trump.
Why do you apologize?
Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump.
Because?
Because it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change. And now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person or voting for the first woman. So
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think they say she phony and fake. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like Trump saying, what are you? So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it. I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
What about
I'm going
Trump?
for Trump. Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
And that's true. I mean, gas, it wasn't as high. It wasn't as high,
And like Sherman said, that could come from global inflation. I mean, I agree
it's
with
a
Sherman
number of
100%
factors
on that.
factor into the gas and the food and all of that going up. It's a number of factors.
But the Democrats
We
are
understand
in the
that.
White House right now, so you got
look
to
at
hold them
who's in there.
accountable.
You look at who's in there. It's kind of like being the head coach of a football team. If you go 2-15, they're gonna look at the head coach. You the head coach.
They're not going to look at. They'll look
They're
at.
not gonna look at the
team.
players. Yeah,
No.
the players they have to play the game. The coach can't
And the
go out there
GM.
and play the game, but they're gonna look at the people
In
up
charge.
top. So
Yeah.
they're up top right now. So that's why people are looking at them to fix it. So
And that's their opinion.
Yeah.
I'm on election day. I'll tell you what. I'm going, and I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I'm voting for Kamala. That's who me. And I'm not afraid to say it. No one can shame me or whatever. I have my reasons. I won't vote for Trump, and that's just it. But we live on a street right now where when we first moved here, I want to jump that. When we first moved here, I would say 40% of my neighbors were white. We live on a street now that's full of immigrants, and there's nothing wrong. I get along with
And they're
all
good people.
our neighbors.
They're
That's
good,
right.
hard-working people.
And they're good, hard-working people over here. The immigrants are good, hard-working people. My Haitian and my Jamaican neighbors are some of the best neighbors you can have. They're hard workers. We as Christians can still talk about immigration, and we can still limit immigration and put limits on it. I mean, that's like Sherman said, that's a passionate argument. That's just where I stand on it. I'm not saying close the whole border down. I'm still saying let people over here for humanitarian efforts and all. We feed everyone. We help everyone in this world. So as a Christian, again, I don't want to see no one go
Look at it.
go
like
hungry
this here.
or help
If
us.
you or me ever decide to leave this country and go to Jamaica or Mexico or Haiti or Honduras or Canada, when we go there to those countries, we have to abide by their rules. We can't just go there and walk into their country, just go walk across the border and go there. There is a process that you have to go through to go into another. If you want to leave America and move to Africa, you can't just, they came and kidnapped us and tricked us onto the boat 500 years ago, so I want to move back to Africa. You can't just move to Africa like that. There is a process. Same as coming into the United States of America, okay? There is a process you have to go through. You don't just walk across a border and come here and live and come here and start working on the streets of America. There is a process.
That's all.
Okay. So if you come here and you go through the process, and if they allow you to come here and you pass, you check off all the boxes to come here to America, and you want to live the American dream, I'm all for that, But you can't just come over here and walk across a river and holding hands and everything, and come over here and think you could just come into the country
And get benefits, get financial benefits right when you step foot over
food
here.
stamps and a voucher for
It doesn't work that
home.
way.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
Okay, that's my opinion.
That's my opinion too. I feel
That's all
very
I'm gonna say
strongly
about
about that. And I have
Let's
nothing
wrap this
against.
up.
I have nothing against my immigrant brothers and sisters.
We love our Haitian and Jamaican and Cubans and everything.
That's right.
As long as you want to come here to America and work hard and be productive and go to school and get a good education and be a productive member in society here in America, we are all for that. But if you think you just come over here and jump off a boat and run, and long as the moment your foot hit American soil, you're a citizen?
No.
That was a favorable law for the Cubans for a long time.
And it helped them. And
a long time.
And look what happened. Look, we in the state of Florida right now. We as black people are not the majority here as far as look what happened here in Florida. We in Miami, our politics. I mean, we don't own hardly any offices in Florida anyway, in past Broward County. So, hey, the past, if you don't learn from the past, you're bound to repeat the future. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good evening. This was a great conversation.
Give us some extra music here before. So we've been here. This was just a pop-up podcast, man. We had an election yesterday evening. And we were reading off the results of the elections. We were here to pass off the information about the Tigner Center allowing alcohol into the Tigner Center, but you have to go through the commission, the Deerfield Beach Commission. We talked about the election. We talked about Obama. We talked about Trump and Kamala.
We played videos of both sides.
We played videos.
Jamal Green running up on Roland Martin in Chicago.
We talked about all of this, and we talked about just stuff, that we can improve on, that we see as black people. Two black faces, two brothers here in this black community, grew up in Deerfield Beach, exit 42. We just two normal people here behind two microphones trying to make a difference in our community. That's all we are trying to do. We're not, we would love to sign a multi-million-dollar contract so we can come in and put that money back right here in Deerfield Beach and open up businesses right now. So all of these businesses out there, Pepsi Cola and Walmart and all of these UPS and Toyota, everybody, man, Zephyr Hills, whoever you are. Hit us up, man. We here to work, man. We want to work. We're not looking for handouts here. We're from America here. We want to be productive members of society here in America. We want to grow. We want to help our family. We want to leave some generational wealth for our families and help America here. That's what we want to do, man. That's all we do here on this podcast, man. Try to pass on credible information that you can rely on.
Our true crime podcasts are. Just continue to watch. We're getting ready to jump back on our true crime podcast. We're gonna have people here on the broadcast with our true crime. So continue to listen in the future. Continue to listen in the future for our true crime. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for everyone that joined in. Again, thank you. Thanks everyone for joining in. Like I say, you can watch us now on YouTube. You can also watch us on Facebook.
We're live on
simultaneously
both
right now.
We're live on both platforms right now.
And get out and vote. Darrell Wilson, 2/3 of us probably didn't even vote yesterday. Yes, voting was horrible yesterday, according to the Broward County Supervisor election and the Dade County Supervisor election. If for those that want Kamala to win in November, get out and vote, because right now, I mean, it's going to be a close race. Just get out and vote.
Don't hold your vote hostage, people. I can't vote for Kamala. She ain't did nothing for black people and this and that and blah, 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 and this and that, and she haven't done this and she hasn't done this and that and that. Man, people, get out and vote. Don't listen to some of these people that's on Facebook and trying to get notoriety on Facebook, okay? Go out there and exercise your right to vote, okay? Don't hold your vote hostage. This is a very important election. The next president could appoint at least 1-2 Supreme Court justices, okay? That's going to be there for the next 30 or 40 years. So don't think that your
the local level is very important too.
Okay, your one vote does not count. Every vote counts here. in America. What you think Dr. King took a bullet to the head for? He got out there. He was fighting for us.
Medgar Evers
in
Mississippi,
and Malcolm X.
Malcolm said about if you're gonna
Eye for an eye.
vote. Malcolm said vote responsible. Malcolm didn't care about the Democrats or the
But
Republicans.
he was assassinated, though.
He told the truth, and that's what we're trying to say right
was
now. We need to
assassinated.
get back to telling the truth.
Right.
We can't come sugarcoating anything on this podcast. I refuse to do it. If Daryl want to do it, but Wayne not gonna sugarcoat anything on here. Whether we're talking about immigration, whether we're talking about Trump, whether we're talking about Kamala. It's not going to be done here. And y'all, everyone have their opinion, and we all can respect each other's opinion, and we can do it in a civil manner. That's all I ask everyone to do, to stop all that arguing on Facebook.
Agree to disagree. Greg Warner, we see you just coming up into the chat. We will see you on Tuesday. We're going to have the current Parks and Recreation Director, Greg Warner. He's going to be on our podcast on Tuesday at 6 p.m. You all be sure to check in, chime in, tap in, whatever you want to call it. Hey, we're going to be asking some questions that you all ask us, and we're going to be asking him about amphitheaters. We're going to be talking about a cultural arts center. We're going to be talking about the track around the court, the football field. We're going to be talking about Hillsborough. I'm sorry.
Anything to do with park and recreation.
Dixie Highway.
We're going to be talking about with Mr. Warner.
Amphitheater. We're going to be talking about everything, man.
So join us Tuesday. Is that Tuesday? We got
Tuesday.
Greg Warner. We were supposed to have Mr. Warner on, Park and Rec Director Greg Warner on. We were supposed to have him on Monday. He's in the chat. We're looking forward to having him on Tuesday. Everyone, please join us on Tuesday as we talk to Deerfield Beach Park and Recreation Director Greg Warner. Like I say again, we were supposed to have him Monday. Something came up out of our control.
And we had to reschedule.
So everyone join us. If you got questions, come in the chat on Tuesday to ask Mr. Warner questions. We're going to have a lot of good questions concerning our community for Greg Warner. Hopefully he comes prepared, because we're going to come prepared.
YouTube and Facebook, thank you for joining us. Whatever platform you are watching us on right now, thank you for joining us. We will be back here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And then right after we get off on Tuesday at 6 p.m., we're going to do a pop-up podcast right after that. And if anything pops up between today, which is Wednesday, and Monday, we will come back on a pop-up podcast, and I guarantee you we will update you on everything that you need to know here, and that's the news that you are unaware of here in Deerfield Beach. This is a podcast that you can rely on. And thank you all so much for watching and tuning in and supporting the Adams Brothers Podcast. $ Adams Brothers Podcast on Cash App and on Zelle. On Zelle, W Adams Brothers Podcast at gmail.com. Thank you all very much for watching. We got some real good stuff coming up for you here in the near future. We love you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Good night.
God bless everyone out.
Good night, everybody. Hey, while we're bobbing our heads, we're ending our live pop-up podcast. We will see you here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. See ya.